Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief Show. I'm your host, Ginny. Today, we're diving into some eye-opening stories. First up, a recent study in Singapore reveals that 1 in 4 young people, aged 15 to 35, have deliberately self-harmed, with teenagers as the most affected group. The median starting age is just 14, and social media seems to be influencing this concerning trend. Experts emphasize the need for parental awareness and early intervention to help build healthier coping skills. Next, we turn our attention to Hong Kong, where the death of a puppy due to poorly performed ear cropping has sparked calls for stricter animal cruelty laws. Currently, laws are weak, and regulations are poorly enforced, allowing cosmetic procedures driven by aesthetic demands to continue. Advocates are pushing for stronger legislation and greater societal awareness to protect our furry friends from unnecessary suffering. Lastly, Hong Kong is experiencing heavy rainfall, with an amber rainstorm warning issued early this morning. Over 20 millimeters of rain have already fallen, with some areas experiencing over 150 millimeters. Authorities advise everyone to stay safe, avoid watercourses, and prepare for possible flash floods. Temperatures are expected to be warm, with occasional showers in the coming days. Please continue to stay alert and take precautions. According to South China Morning Post, a startling study from Singapore's Institute of Mental Health reveals that 1 in 4 young people aged 15 to 35 have engaged in deliberate self-harm at least once, with teenagers being particularly vulnerable. The median age for starting self-injury is just 14, and behaviors such as cutting, burning, or headbanging are prevalent, especially among females who face twice the risk compared to males. The study underscores that these acts often serve as a temporary relief from overwhelming emotions like sadness, anger, or anxiety, and are linked to factors such as body dissatisfaction and lower education levels. Experts emphasize the importance of early intervention, parental awareness, and teaching healthier emotional regulation strategies, especially given the global rise in youth self-harm exacerbated by social media influences, including harmful TikTok challenges. The South China Morning Post also reports on the urgent need to tighten animal cruelty laws in Hong Kong following the tragic death of a 2-month-old Doberman puppy due to infections from poorly performed ear cropping. Despite existing regulations, practices like tail docking and ear cropping remain common, driven by aesthetic preferences and market demands, with owners often seeking to make their pets appear more intimidating or adorable. Advocates like veterinary expert Mark Mack highlight that such procedures are inhumane, especially when performed for cosmetic reasons, and call for stricter laws and higher penalties. Currently, enforcement remains weak, with a low prosecution rate, but ongoing legislative efforts aim to ban unnecessary mutilations and promote animal welfare, reflecting a societal need to respect and protect animals amid a burgeoning pet economy. In Hong Kong, the weather takes a dramatic turn as the South China Morning Post reports the issuance of an amber rainstorm warning, signaling heavy rainfall that could cause flash floods in vulnerable areas. The Hong Kong Observatory warned residents to stay away from watercourses and take precautions, with over 20 millimeters of rain recorded in the New Territories and even more in nearby Shenzhen, Zhongshan, and Zhuhai. The region faces a mix of thundery showers and high temperatures, ranging from 27 to 29 degrees Celsius, with the weather expected to improve but still include occasional showers. This intense weather pattern highlights the ongoing impact of climate variability on the region, urging residents to remain vigilant against potential flooding and related hazards. Nikkei Asia vividly illustrates China's bold push toward technological independence in the automotive industry, highlighting the country's ambitious plan to produce 100% domestically made chips for vehicles by 2026. Chinese automakers such as SAIC Motor, Changan, and BYD are actively developing and launching models equipped entirely with homegrown chips, with some brands aiming for mass production within the next few years. This initiative is driven by Beijing's strategic goal to reduce reliance on foreign technology amidst escalating US-China tensions, especially in critical areas like autonomous driving systems, which currently depend heavily on American-made chips from NVIDIA and Qualcomm. Chinese automakers are now shifting towards using consumer-grade chips for non-critical features to accelerate localization, leveraging older manufacturing processes that make domestic production more feasible. Meanwhile, global chip giants like STMicroelectronics and Infineon are collaborating with Chinese firms to expand local supply chains, reflecting a significant transformation in the automotive chip landscape as China aims to boost self-sufficiency from a modest 17.5% in 2025 to nearly 40% of global capacity by 2027. South China Morning Post details SemiDrive's strategic leap into the international arena, emphasizing the company's plans to supply cockpit system-on-a-chip (SoC) solutions to European automakers, marking a pivotal step in China's automotive chip export ambitions. SemiDrive's X9 SoC, capable of integrating high-performance CPUs, GPUs, and AI accelerators, is set to power a range of European models, including sedans and SUVs, by late next year. This move signifies China's growing influence in the global automotive semiconductor market, which is currently dominated by Qualcomm, NXP, and Renesas. Despite the challenges posed by strict European data security regulations and the need to cater to overseas consumer preferences, SemiDrive's cost-effective chips, priced 10 to 20% lower than foreign competitors, are positioned to expand China's footprint in emerging markets like Southeast Asia and Latin America. The company's strategic expansion into Germany and Japan underscores its ambition to establish a truly global presence, leveraging China's increasing domestic production capacity, which is projected to account for nearly 40% of the world's mature node chips by 2027. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post also captures a cultural shift among Chinese students celebrating graduation with more fashionable and personalized attire. Moving away from traditional mortarboards and gowns, graduates are opting for stylish white dresses, often inspired by celebrities like Eileen Gu, who showcased a sleek white dress beneath her gown in 2020. Social media platforms like Rednote and Instagram are flooded with posts showcasing elegant, understated looks that blend classic simplicity with contemporary flair, including accessories like floral headwear and traditional Chinese adornments such as yunjian and zanhua crowns. Students are embracing DIY creativity, crafting intricate floral crowns with artificial flowers, ribbons, and blessings, symbolizing wishes for future success and beauty. These trends reflect a broader societal shift toward individual expression and aesthetic refinement, blending cultural heritage with modern fashion sensibilities, as young graduates seek to make their milestone moments both memorable and uniquely personal. CNN vividly captures the relentless hustle of the shipping industry amid the US-China trade war, illustrating the high-stakes race to move goods before tariffs expire. As colossal container ships like the one modern dock at Hong Kong, teams of workers and crane drivers work against the clock to unload thousands of containers filled with everything from clothing to car parts, all while global companies scramble to stockpile amid unpredictable trade policies. The chaos is compounded by the constantly shifting rules, with tariffs changing multiple times a week, forcing American firms to operate in a state of uncertainty, stockpiling goods and pushing shipping companies to their limits. Despite these tumultuous conditions, the shipping industry remains resilient, weathering crises like the pandemic and canal blockages, but the economic toll is severe. Many U.S. businesses, particularly in toys and manufacturing, face potential collapse, with costs inevitably passed on to consumers, transforming tariffs into a hidden tax that threatens to diminish wealth and disrupt global supply chains. South China Morning Post highlights the inspiring journey of Hong Kong youth benefiting from an international football leadership scheme linked to Manchester United. Among the 6 selected teenagers, Jackie Chung Lok Hae dreams of unearthing Hong Kong's football talent akin to how Barcelona discovered Messi, aiming to elevate local sports development. The program, which includes coaching, event organization, and leadership training, culminates in a week at Old Trafford, where participants witness a Premier League match and engage in community activities. Chung's personal growth is evident, overcoming shyness, embracing teamwork through dragon boat racing, and aspiring to become a coach who nurtures not just skills but character. The experience is more than a trip, it's a catalyst for future leadership, fostering a new generation of passionate, proactive sports enthusiasts eager to transform Hong Kong's football scene and inspire local youth through the power of sport and international exchange. South China Morning Post also explores the humble yet historically significant button, a tiny accessory with a grand past. Originating around 2000 BC in ancient civilizations like the Indus Valley, buttons initially served ornamental purposes, signaling wealth before evolving into functional fasteners in Roman times. Over centuries, they became symbols of status, with elaborate designs and precious materials restricted by sumptuary laws during the Middle Ages. Today, the button's role has shifted amid economic shifts and consumer consciousness. Luxury brands like Chanel elevate buttons to art, incorporating intricate designs, gemstones, and innovative materials. Maison des Roses, Chanel's button atelier, exemplifies craftsmanship, transforming simple fasteners into expressions of creativity, such as a button inspired by an astronaut's helmet or a collection referencing ballet. Meanwhile, Chinese luxury label Tang Xindan revives traditional ceramic button making, blending heritage with modern fashion by crafting exquisite porcelain buttons that showcase China's rich cultural history, reaffirming the button's status as both a functional item and a symbol of craftsmanship and cultural pride. The South China Morning Post vividly recounts a tragic accident in Hong Kong where a 51-year-old woman lost her life after a truck, seemingly out of control, swerved across lanes and collided with a bus stop along Chatham Road North in Hongkong. The dashcam footage captures the terrifying moment when the truck, having skidded and narrowly avoided a bus, suddenly turned 180 degrees and pressed against the bus stop, trapping the woman beneath it. Witnesses fleeing in panic as the slow lane was shut down, firefighters heroically rescued her, but despite their efforts, she was pronounced dead at Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Another woman, injured in the limbs, was also hospitalized, highlighting the devastating human toll of this horrifying incident that underscores the dangers of reckless driving on busy urban roads. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post also reports on a scandalous controversy ignited by a Chinese home furnishings company's senior executive, Liu, who imposed bizarre and draconian workplace rules. His directives included fines for looking in mirrors, eating snacks, and even for being away from workstations without cause, rules that sparked outrage across social media. Employees faced hefty fines and salary deductions for minor infractions, such as making excuses or failing to shut down their computers after hours. Legal experts condemned these measures as potentially illegal under Chinese labor law, which prohibits such punitive fines. The incident has ignited a fierce online debate about corporate overreach and the limits of workplace discipline, with many criticizing the oppressive environment and questioning the mental stability of such management practices. The South China Morning Post vividly recounts the ambitious expansion of the Hilton hotel chain into Hong Kong during the 1960s, capturing the excitement and strategic planning behind their entry. In 1956, Hilton executives, including Mr. John Hauser and Mr. Rugg Purpose, announced their plans for a luxury hotel in Hong Kong, emphasizing the city's importance on their Asian tour. By 1963, the Hong Kong Hilton was finally opening, promising to boost tourism significantly, with an expected influx of 25,000 visitors annually, each spending around $40 to $50 daily. The hotel's opening was initially celebrated with grand plans for multiple restaurants and lounges, but it was soon marred by Hong Kong's water shortage, leading to the cancellation of its official opening functions. Despite these hurdles, Hilton's president, Conrad Hilton, expressed his optimism, viewing Hong Kong as an exciting city that could add to its global allure. Over the decades, the hotel became an iconic landmark, symbolizing Hong Kong's rapid development, until 1995, when it was demolished amid Li Ka-shing's real estate ambitions, marking the end of an era of grandeur and growth. Meanwhile, Nikkei Asia paints a compelling picture of China's shifting economic landscape amid escalating US-China trade tensions, highlighting how Chinese manufacturers and entrepreneurs are increasingly targeting Southeast Asia. Gong Yongqiang's Christmas decoration business, once expected to suffer from Trump's tariffs, instead thrived, with exports growing by 20% in 2023, driven by demand from Indonesia and Malaysia. Chinese brands are penetrating local markets in textiles, furniture, and consumer goods, with many adapting products to appeal to Southeast Asian tastes. The region's rising affluence and Chinese investment have transformed countries like Indonesia and Vietnam into burgeoning markets, with Chinese companies establishing manufacturing bases and expanding their reach. Governments, however, are wary of the influx of Chinese goods threatening local industries, leading to tariffs and restrictions. Despite concerns, the region remains a strategic pivot point for Chinese businesses seeking to bypass tariffs and geopolitical uncertainties, with ASEAN now surpassing the EU and US as China's largest trading partner, illustrating a complex dance of economic opportunity and protectionism. The Toronto Star offers a poignant exploration of Forgiveness, a play at the Stratford Festival that delves into the intertwined histories of Japanese Canadian and Western Canadians during World War II. Hiro Kanagawa, a playwright and actor, reflects on how the play's themes remain painfully relevant amid contemporary issues of anti-Asian hate and immigration debates. Adapted from Mark Sakamoto's memoir, Forgiveness explores the contrasting experiences of Sakamoto's grandparents, his grandmother Mitsui, forcibly relocated from Vancouver to Alberta after Pearl Harbor, and his grandfather Ralph McLean, who endured Japanese captivity in Hong Kong. Kanagawa emphasizes that the play isn't solely about wartime trauma but about the ongoing process of forgiveness and reconciliation, urging audiences to confront pain without passing resentment to future generations. Director Stafford Arima highlights the play's relevance in today's divided society, emphasizing that forgiveness is not forgetting but a way to move forward without perpetuating anger. Ultimately, Kanagawa hopes the production fosters pride in Canada's multicultural identity and encourages healing, illustrating how art can serve as a bridge across historical wounds and present-day divisions. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.